What's up YouTube? Welcome back. Today's video is going to be a little different than the past couple of videos because today I'm showing you guys that thing right there, a 2015 Scion TC. Let's get into it. If you guys clicked on this video, it's probably because you either have a Scion TC or don't have no clue what this thing is. Now chances are, as most people, probably have no clue what this thing is. Now, this isn't a race car. It, unfortunately, under the hood is actually just a Camry engine. Big letdown. Aww. Now, if you guys are familiar, I'm just going to give you guys a quick breakdown of Scion. Now, obviously, this really is a Toyota right here, but Scion was like a sub-brand. Doesn't exist anymore, so these things are super hard to find. Now, obviously, most people know about the Scion brand because of the Scion FRS, but this is like, I guess I would say like their more unknown car because I feel like a lot less people know about it. It is two-door like the Scion FRS, BRZ, Toyota A6, whatever you want to call it, but it doesn't have that same aggressive look as the FRS, so it's a little undercover almost. So starting off with the outside of the car. Now, this isn't a normal TC. I'm sure if you look up, a Scion TC on the internet, you're going to find not an orange one. Oops. This orange right here is called Magna Orange. And it is two-tone, which the normal Scion TCs just come fully painted as one color. Now, I'm sure most of you guys maybe were expecting some kind of V6, some 8-cylinder even. No. This thing has a 4-cylinder Toyota Camry engine. Because this is a Scion, although it's basically a Toyota. So yeah, there's really nothing special under the hood, unfortunately. In fact, probably your mom's SUV can beat this thing. This thing is really slow. Big letdown. I am mostly comparing this to, your average Scion TC, because realistically, you're not going to compare this to, some kind of BMW or even some Audi, because it just can't compete with those guys. Although there is one advantage this thing does have, and it's the reliability, because it has the Toyota engine. Now, comparing it with other Scion TCs, this does come with a little lip right here, or wing, whatever you want to call it. So that is one way, obviously, to tell the difference besides the orange. And it does come with this rear diffuser, which actually I believe all the other ones might come with. Now, for the outside of the car, that's pretty much it. It's mainly just that orange and the rear lip. But this car does come with the keyless entry, which I guess for 2015, pretty cool to have in a relatively cheaper car back then. So that is one plus this thing has. And along with that, it does come with some kind of special glossy wheels, I guess. Nothing crazy, but. Now, moving on to the trunk. Now, yes, you might be wondering, why Scion TC? So the TC actually stands for Touring Coupe, because it has two doors, so it is a coupe. And I will say one thing that's very cool is how this trunk opens. And there's actually so much space back here. Pop this sucker open. Bam. Now, this thing goes up really high, which I find pretty interesting. Not sure why it goes up so high, but it allows for a ton of space back here. And another thing that I guess I forgot to mention is the branded floor mats. So you always know that you're in a TC 9.0 release series with the little Cartel Customs logo as well. But as I was saying, you could get a ton of room, all the seats fold down. So I actually seen someone online camp in this because there's so much room when you pull the seats down. You could literally put a whole mattress back here and you'll actually be very comfortable. While I don't advise camping in this, it is possible, and you could actually do it pretty comfortably. Another thing that I guess I also forgot to mention that is different from the release series than the other ones is this center exhaust. Now, yes, the exhaust actually sounds better than a normal TC, and it's a center exit exhaust along with whereas the other TCs will just come out right there. So the rear diffuser, I guess, is a little bit different while it allows for that center exit exhaust. And I'll give you guys a quick listen to it because, you know, it sounds okay. Now, you gotta remember this is a 4-cylinder. It definitely, you know, it's gonna sound way better than your normal Camry or Corolla. But it's not, you know, wow, my ears are bleeding. Now let's check out the inside of this car. So as you can kind of see right off the bat, there is hints of orange all along the interior of the car. You know, even the seatbelts are orange. Now this is only exclusive with this release series. So if you want it on another car, you're gonna have to buy some kind of, you know, kit with a different color. Now, one thing I found pretty interesting was the cup holders. So basically, if you want to put a cup with no lid on it, you're not allowed. So be prepared when you buy one of these because you are not allowed to put a water bottle without a lid in. Really, it's a Toyota. Scion parts, Toyota parts, you know, they're cheap, easy to fix, gonna be reliable. So because, you know, most people think, oh, Scion doesn't exist anymore, something must have happened. It's not like some Saab or something where, you know, the parts might be a little harder to find. It's Toyota, the biggest, one of, if not the biggest, car manufacturers in the world. So no concerns with that. Now with this one, you might see a screen right there. Now that is not stock. That has been replaced to have Apple CarPlay. But besides that, and little Moana over there, nothing, everything is stock. So all this orange here comes with the car, this special edition, and it actually adds such a nice touch. I really like it. It kind of completes the whole car because the outside is orange. Now, one thing you might notice is this thing. Yes, this one is not a manual, but the Scion TC does come in manual, but be prepared because they are very, very hard to find. In fact, out of the 2,000 of these cars built, I believe only 500 of them actually came with the manual. Just for the release series. Now, I'm sure most of the other Scion TCs, there's definitely more of a supply of the manuals, but watch out because manuals are very hard to find on these. Another interesting feature I will say is actually the unit control. Now, I know Mustang does this, and actually I'm not sure if Mustang does it, but I know the Supra has it where, I don't know if you guys can tell, but this whole center console here is actually centered towards the driver. So because I have Apple CarPlay in here, it's actually so easy to see because you could kind of see it, I guess. Instead of it just being flat, you know, it's hard to see or whatever, you got to tilt your head. You get a clear, nice view, and these things are really easy. I know sometimes you step into these new modern cars and it's so hard to find to turn on the AC. Like, I have no idea why modern cars here now are so complicated with all the center console stuff. This thing is simple and it's done, in my opinion, perfect. Now, as I was talking about how this is centered towards the driver, you could see if you're in the passenger seat, you could see real nicely here how it is, bam, pointing right at the driver, which I think is so cool. And you don't really find it on too many cars nowadays. So I'd say it's very cool. Now, I don't know if you guys can see that well, but because this is a special edition, it is actually serial number to 2000. Another thing you might find along with this car is the keyless entry button. So because it is keyless entry, it is push to start. You can see the little cartel logo right there. Now, I'm not sure if you guys can see that well, but this does have orange stitching along with the seats. Hard to see in the sunlight, but you know, when it's darker out, you can definitely stands out a lot more, along with the orange seatbelts. Interesting thing on the doors is the speakers, actually. Now, I'm not sure why there's 3 speakers. I actually haven't really tested them to see if all 3 of them work, but yes, it's on the passenger side too. So just up front here, there's 6 speakers, and I like how it goes down from small to big. Pretty odd on a car like this. Maybe they, you know, just didn't know what to do up there, but it's pretty interesting little quirk on this car. That's pretty self-explanatory is the size of the doors. Because it is a coupe, these doors are absolutely massive. No pun intended. But the windows as well are freaking huge. So just another thing, you know, to keep in mind. Now, this is probably going to be the same with all, you know, coupes, but big doors. Now, looking back, another interesting feature you might find is this thing. Yes, Scion TCs come with a sunroof and a moonroof all the way back there. Now, a sunroof is the one that opens and the moonroof doesn't open. I don't know why there's a moonroof and a sunroof. That's just two pieces of glass up on the roof. Not sure why they did that. Could have just made the whole thing. That would look a lot cooler. Or just have the sunroof. But yes, all Scion TCs come with a sunroof. Now, I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but yes, this is the seat all the way back. And I do have a good amount of legroom. So even though this is a coupe, you could actually fit 5 people in here, or 4 people, really, really comfortably. Like, very underrated how comfortable it is back here. Now, I'm 6'2", so the headroom, it's okay. Like, you wouldn't want to go obviously on a road trip, but for like, you know, 10, 15-minute drive, it's just fine. And you get this moonroof that you can look out of. Pretty cool. You must have a water bottle with a lid, or else you cannot enter the car. And of course, there's another big speaker back here. So yes, that's a total of 8 speakers in the car. So the audio system's actually really good as well. Especially for a cheaper, you know, Scion, the audio system is very, very good, I will say. And another thing to keep in mind is the roof. Glass here, and this is the trunk, I guess. Glass here, this is the moonroof. Once again, as I said earlier, not sure why. Sunroof here as well, and then glass. Not sure why they'd make this whole thing glass. It would look pretty sick. Whatever. But I guess maybe, you know, maybe it's cheaper to repair one section instead of the whole thing. But the whole roof is glass, which is another, I guess, feature that this car has. I'm going to hop in the car and I'll give you guys a drive and kind of review the driving of it. This is also lowered as well. So if you get a normal Scion TC, it's going to be a little bit higher off the ground, so you feel all the bumps in this thing. Yeah, so sound-wise, I don't know if you guys can hear that. Just step down on the gas right there. It's okay. But like I said, I don't know if you guys can see it right there. That does say 29. I can get it to 30, just gotta drive, you know, a little more conservatively. But other than that, this thing does do really well on the miles per gallon, which is a big plus because you're not refilling every 30 seconds. This also doesn't, because there's, you know, it's the Camry engine, this thing doesn't have to take premium gas, which, you know, with the gas prices the way they are now, it's a big hit in the bank account, if you know what I mean. Not with this thing, though. Now, like I said earlier, because this car is pretty low to the ground, you know, every little bump on the road, well, depending on how big it is, you'll most likely feel the suspension lowered. So this car, ground clearance is another thing I will say. While this car is lowered compared to other TCs, it still has so much ground clearance. So that's another thing, you know, you could, like on dirt roads, you'll be fine. Like this thing, it's not like a Lamborghini where it's, you know, you can only drive it on the pavement. No, it's nothing like that. Actually, I could post up how much ground clearance it has. So compared to like other cars, it's, you know, lower. You know, most people drive SUVs these days, so it's definitely lower than, you know, your average, you know, Toyota RAV4. But you know, it's still pretty good. And this does come with paddle shifters. I don't know if you guys can see that right there. You know, so while it is manual, it does come with paddle shifters. So Maybe it's a plus, I don't know. But I don't really use them that much. Really no need to. It's not that fast, but yeah. But overall, I would say the Scion TC is one of the better cars that you could get if you're looking for reliability. If you're looking for power and you live in like Florida, don't gotta deal with the winter, skip this. Don't even bother watching the rest of this video. But you know, if you're in, you know, New England area or up northern states, definitely a solid choice. And they're pretty rare too. You don't find too many of these. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Help us reach 1,000 subscribers. And I'll see you guys in the next one.